The Middle Ages in Europe, a time often associated with feudalism, knights and castles, but beneath the surface of this familiar narrative, a different kind of power was emerging, the power of trade. Across the North Sea and the Baltic, a new force was taking shape, a force that would challenge the very foundations of economic thought. This was the Hanseatic League. For centuries, this alliance of trading cities would dominate commerce in Northern Europe. It would connect distant lands and shape the destiny of nations. The Hanseatic League was more than just a trading network. It was a testament to the power of cooperation. In a world often defined by conflict and competition, the League offered a different vision. It showed that prosperity could be achieved through collaboration, not conquest. The Hanseatic League story is a fascinating journey through time. It takes us back to a period when the rules of commerce were being rewritten. To understand the League's impact, we need to delve into the heart of economic systems. We need to explore the fundamental differences between market economies and capitalism. This distinction, often overlooked, is crucial to grasping the true significance of the Hanseatic League. It challenges us to reconsider our own economic assumptions. And it invites us to imagine a world where cooperation, not competition, drives prosperity. Imagine a world without global corporations or stock markets. This was the world of the Hanseatic League. Emerging in the 12th century, the League wasn't the product of a grand design. It arose organically from the needs of merchants and cities. Traders and artisans formed guilds to protect their interests, ensuring everyone received a fair share. The League's success was built on collaboration. Cities pooled resources and shared knowledge, establishing trading posts known as contours. From Bruges to Novgorod, the League's influence grew, controlling trade routes and negotiating treaties, without a central government or standing army, governed by consensus among member cities, a testament to cooperation and shared governance. To understand the Hanseatic League, we must confront a common misconception. Market economies are not synonymous with capitalism. Historian Fernand Braudel argued this is an oversimplification. He distinguished between capitalism and market economies. The Hanseatic League thrived on cooperation and fairness. It challenges capitalist ideology, showing prosperity without exploitation. Its legacy compels us to reconsider our long-held economic assumptions. Fernand Braudel, a historian known for his deep understanding of economic systems, challenged the conventional wisdom surrounding capitalism. He argued that the term free market, often used to champion capitalism, is actually a misnomer. It's a carefully constructed narrative designed to mask the reality of power imbalances and the pursuit of monopolies. Braudel believed that true market economies, those that operate fairly and benefit the majority, are not about unchecked competition. They thrive on a delicate balance between cooperation and competition. The Hanseatic League, he argued, exemplified this balance. The League's success stemmed from its ability to create a system where merchants and artisans could compete fairly without resorting to exploitation or the creation of monopolies. This cooperative spirit, Braudel argued, is essential for long-term economic stability and social well-being. The relentless pursuit of profit, a hallmark of capitalism, disrupts this balance. It creates a system where the few accumulate vast wealth at the expense of the many, leading to social unrest and economic instability. Braudel's insights challenge the dominant narrative of his time, and they continue to resonate today as we grapple with the consequences of unfettered capitalism. His work invites us to look beyond the surface of economic systems and question the assumptions that underpin them. At the heart of the Hanseatic League's success lay a principle that ran counter to the prevailing winds of economic thought: cooperation. Its member cities, spread across a vast geographical area, understood that their fates were intertwined. They shared resources, knowledge, and even military might when necessary to protect their common interests. There was no central authority dictating terms or demanding obedience. Decisions were made through consensus, with each city having a voice in shaping the League's policies. The Hanseatic League fostered a sense of shared identity and purpose among its members. Central to the Hanseatic League's success was the guild system, a complex web of organizations that governed nearly every aspect of production and trade. Guilds weren't simply economic entities, they were social institutions deeply embedded in the fabric of Hanseatic life. They provided a framework for education, social welfare, and even spiritual guidance. One of the Guild's primary functions was to uphold the quality of goods produced within the Hanseatic world. They established strict standards for craftsmanship, ensuring that only products meeting these rigorous criteria could bear the Hanseatic seal of approval. This dedication to quality became synonymous with the Hanseatic League, enhancing its reputation and fostering trust among consumers. Guilds also played a crucial role in protecting the interests of both masters and apprentices. They established fair wages, regulated working hours, and provided mechanisms for resolving disputes. This system ensured that everyone involved in the production process, from the most experienced master craftsman to the newest apprentice, was treated fairly and with respect. Furthermore, guilds served as safety nets for their members. They provided financial assistance to those who fell ill, suffered losses due to piracy or shipwreck, or faced hardship in their old age. This commitment to social welfare fostered a sense of community and solidarity among guild members, reinforcing the Hanseatic League's cooperative ethos. The Hanseatic League's economic model stood in stark contrast to the exploitative systems that emerged later. It wasn't about maximizing profits for a select few at the expense of the many. Instead, it aimed to create a more equitable and just society, one where prosperity was shared and the well-being of all citizens was paramount. This human-centered approach was reflected in the League's policies. Workers enjoyed reasonable hours, regular holidays, and access to education and healthcare through their guilds. This focus on social welfare wasn't seen as an impediment to economic growth, but rather as a necessary investment in the long-term health and stability of Hanseatic society. The League's emphasis on cooperation and fairness fostered a sense of trust and mutual respect among its members. This in turn created a more stable and predictable economic environment, reducing the risk of social unrest and fostering long-term growth. The Hanseatic League's success challenged the notion that economic progress must come at the cost of social justice. It demonstrated that a system built on cooperation, fairness, and a commitment to the common good could create lasting prosperity for all its members. This legacy continues to inspire those who seek to build a more just and equitable world, one where the pursuit of profit doesn't overshadow the fundamental needs and aspirations of humanity. The Hanseatic League wasn't the result of conquest or a powerful ruler. It emerged organically, a testament to bottom-up cooperation. Imagine a network of cities bound by agreements of mutual benefit. That was the Hanseatic League in essence. By working together, cities could achieve what they couldn't alone. They secured trade routes, protected against piracy, and established stable commerce. The League's power came from decentralized governance and consensus. This democratic approach fostered shared ownership and responsibility. Within the Hanseatic League, the guild system was a pathway for social mobility and quality craftsmanship. Imagine a young boy joining a guild as an apprentice. He learns through hands-on experience under a master craftsman. Progressing to journeyman and master, he climbs both economic and social ladders. Talent and hard work were rewarded, allowing social mobility. The Hanseatic League's influence wasn't just economic. It shaped legal practices, diplomacy and city governance in Northern Europe. Imagine a time when national borders were fluid and king's authority waned outside their domains. The League's network of cities became a force for stability and order. It developed legal codes and arbitration systems, often bypassing feudal courts. This framework influenced maritime law and international commerce. The League's diplomatic skills were impressive. Merchants negotiated treaties and trade privileges. This gave the League a powerful voice in international affairs. Its success in self-governance impacted city governance development. The Hanseatic League maintained order through trust, reputation, and shared interests, not military force. Imagine a trading network with no standing army or central authority. Reputation was paramount. A city that reneged on agreements would be ostracized. This mutual accountability maintained order and stability. Disputes were resolved through arbitration by respected figures. Mediation and compromise preserved harmony and cooperation. The League's experience shows trust can be a powerful force for order and stability. Trust, once established, can maintain order even without a strong central authority. The Hanseatic League system was built on generations of cultivated trust. This trust-based system proved remarkably effective. The Hanseatic League's governance planted seeds for democratic ideals. In a world of absolute rule, the League's decentralized structure was revolutionary. Power was shared among member cities. Decisions reached through consensus. The League's assembly embodied dialogue, debate, and collective decision-making. This challenged the notion that power should reside with a select few. It showed that a system with citizen voices could be effective and prosperous. The League's influence extended to city-states like the Dutch Republic. Merchants and citizens played significant roles in governance. The League's legacy influenced representative government movements in Europe. Shared governance experiments often lead to more just and equitable systems. The League's success was due to a deliberate approach prioritizing fairness and stability. Trade wasn't a zero-sum game, mutual benefit was key. Ethical conduct was essential to the trading network. A merchant's reputation for honesty was his most valuable asset. Transparency in pricing practices reflected true value. Fair prices ensured trust and market stability. Ethical conduct was a shrewd business strategy. Fairness and reliability secured a loyal customer base. The League created a stable trading environment. The Hanseatic approach fostered long-term prosperity. Trust and ethical conduct were the bedrock of success. The League's fairness extended to labor practices. Workers' rights were integral to the economic system. The guild system protected workers' interests. Standards for wages, hours, and conditions ensured fair treatment. Apprentices received training and support. A content workforce was essential to economic success. Exploiting workers would undermine the system. Fair labor practices fostered loyalty and pride. Workers contributed to the prosperity of their guilds and cities. The League's labor practices were a model of fairness. This approach ensured a skilled and cooperative workforce. The League fostered a culture of cooperation and civic engagement. Commerce was integral to cultural and community flourishing. Wealth was reinvested in the common good. Education and skill development were highly valued. Guilds established schools for future generations. The League's trading network facilitated cultural exchange. Hanseatic cities were connected to broader cultural currents. The League's legacy is seen in art, architecture, and traditions. The Hanseatic League's impact extended beyond economics. The League faced internal tensions and external pressures. Its decentralized structure led to disagreements among member cities. Reaching consensus was time-consuming and contentious. Success attracted rivals and enemies. Monarchs and nation-states challenged the League's autonomy. Tensions grew between wealthier and smaller cities. Interests of different factions didn't always align. The League's success created pressure to increase production. Maintaining high standards became challenging. Internal divisions weakened the League. The League struggled to address these challenges. The Hanseatic system faced growing internal and external pressures. The Hanseatic League holds valuable lessons for today. Cooperation, fairness, and the common good can lead to lasting prosperity. The League's long-term planning and trust cultivation offer an alternative. Balancing economic growth with social responsibility is crucial. A content workforce is essential to long-term prosperity. Economic activity is intertwined with social and cultural factors. Investing in education and the arts enhances quality of life. The League's model shows a more just world is possible. The Hanseatic League story offers inspiration for a sustainable future. By the 16th century, new ideas and challenges emerged. The rise of mercantilism marked a departure from the League's approach. Mercantilist policies emphasized protectionist measures. This zero-sum mentality contrasted with the League's ethos. Powerful nation-states sought control over trade. The League's transnational network clashed with centralized powers. The League's independence made it vulnerable. The League had to defend its privileges against new contenders. The Hanseatic League navigated increasingly treacherous waters. The League faced internal challenges from its success. Cooperation didn't always align with individual ambitions. Wealth growth led to prioritizing individual gain. Some merchants saw regulations as impediments. Tensions arose between wealthier and smaller cities. Smaller cities felt benefits weren't shared equitably. Resentment weakened trust and solidarity. The decentralized structure made addressing divisions difficult. The League struggled to maintain unity and purpose. The Enlightenment challenged the Hanseatic League's way of life. Emphasis on reason and individualism questioned traditional authorities. Thinkers argued for inherent rights and consent of the governed. These ideas undermined absolute monarchy. Economic thought shifted towards individual self-interest. Adam Smith's ideas challenged the League's communal approach. Critics saw the guild system as outdated. The Enlightenment emphasized progress and innovation. The League's tradition-bound methods faced criticism. The 18th century witnessed the rise of a new economic order, one that would reshape the world and relegate the Hanseatic League to the history books. The market economy, driven by individual ambition, technological innovation, and the relentless pursuit of profit, gradually displaced the League's more cooperative and regulated system. The Industrial Revolution, which began in England in the late 18th century, marked a turning point in this transformation. New technologies, such as the steam engine and the power loom, dramatically increased productivity, leading to mass production, the growth of factories, and the rise of a new class of industrial capitalists. This new economic order, with its emphasis on competition, efficiency, and constant innovation, had little room for the Hanseatic League's traditional ways. The League's guild system, once a source of stability and quality control, was now seen as an impediment to progress, hindering the free flow of labour and capital. The rise of the market economy also brought with it new forms of economic organisation, such as joint stock companies and stock exchanges, that facilitated larger-scale investment and risk-taking. These innovations further marginalised the Hanseatic League, which, with its more traditional approach to finance and commerce, struggled to adapt to this rapidly changing environment. The individualistic ethos of the market economy also eroded the social bonds and shared sense of purpose that had long been the League's strength. Though the Hanseatic League eventually succumbed to the forces of history, its legacy continues to resonate, offering valuable lessons for a world grappling with the challenges and contradictions of a globalized market economy. The League's story reminds us that cooperation, fairness, and a long-term perspective aren't incompatible with economic success, and that a focus on shared prosperity can lead to greater stability and resilience. While the unfettered competition of the market economy has undoubtedly driven innovation and created immense wealth, it has also contributed to widening inequality, social fragmentation, and environmental degradation. The Hanseatic League's experience suggests that a more balanced approach, one that tempers the pursuit of profit with a commitment to social responsibility and the common good, may be essential for creating a more just and sustainable future. The League's legacy can be seen in the cooperative movements that emerged in the 19th and 20th centuries, seeking to create more equitable and democratic forms of economic organization. From worker-owned cooperatives to credit unions to fair trade initiatives, these efforts reflect a desire to recapture some of the Hanseatic spirit of collaboration and shared prosperity. The Hanseatic League's story, though ultimately one of decline, continues to inspire those who believe that a more just and equitable world is possible. One where economic activity serves the needs of people and the planet rather than the other way around.